Hello again, Lockpicking Paul here, and what I've got tonight is Tricky. And Tricky is an unreleased challenge lock that was made by Lockmania, and it was in his 1K subscriber giveaway as just one of the locks he handed out. And it's actually quite a fun pick. It's not particularly hard, and in a short while you're going to see a video of me picking this open with the Covert Katana, which is a tool I made for the Covert Companion. And in the process of gutting this, to have a look at the pinning inside, because it has some quite dramatic false sets and whatnot, I had a gutting disaster. So this lock did come with a warning. Which one is it? Be careful, fishbone core. So I was using a shim, but the tolerances of this lock are not great, and I slipped, and the slim slipped rather, and it's bricked. So Tricky is no more. I can't take this apart without destroying this lock. Now it's a bit unusual. It looks like a Euro, except it's a bit smaller than your average Euro. It's got a core which is the same sort of size as a padlock. The body here is aluminium rather than brass, and the pins at the top here are steel. Now usually the way you fix something like this is you drill into the top of the brass pins, stick a tapping screw in and pull them out, and take everything out from the top, and then you can get at the core. Only steel pins in an aluminium body normally means that your drill bit will skate and then just dig into the aluminium. So drilling those pins out isn't an option. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to machine along the top here with my mill, take the pins out from the side effectively, salvage all the components inside so we can see what the pinning was. The core will be intact and undamaged. It'll just be the Bible that's damaged. And I'm going to see if I can rebuild it using a brass-bodied Euro-style core, but reusing the pins. We'll see if that's possible. I don't even know if it is at this point in time. So that's what I have at the moment. The next segment you're going to see is me picking this open with the Covert Katana, and then after that we'll show you the gutting. There'll be a machining step in between that, and then hopefully finally a rebuild into a new body of lock, and then we can work out what we're going to do with Tricky 2, the brass version. All right, I'll be back in a little while with the picking of this. Right, let's get this strange little lock open. Got the false going, but we're not in the false trap yet. Right, that's a false trap. Look at that. I have no idea what's causing that inside, but we do want to lose that. If I can find the right pin or manual, yeah. Here you go. We're open. Actually, that was the first time I've picked out of a deep false. It was completely manual, back counter rotation. There was no push down, so I should be very interested to see what's going on inside this lock. Okay, change of focus. Right, that looks like the same sort of size core as a padlock. And there is a warning on the key that says make sure you use a shim because it's got a fishbone core, which is quite common with these. Key in it actually. Quite common with these little aluminium Euro style locks. The tolerance in this isn't great. There's a shim. And a key. Right, I think that's all the way in. There it is. If only that was actually lined up on the pins. Oh, damn it. Something got trapped. I wonder if I goofed, even trying to use a shim, I goofed up with this. Oh. Yeah, I did. Okay, we've got a problem. Houston. Okay, so we might have had a bit of a result. I had a go at Tricky on the mill. Let's have a zoom in on that. Basically cut along the top quarter, and they were ball bearings that were plugs in here. So what I think I can do, I think I've got enough material there to tap those and put grub screws in, which would be good because this does have a skeleton core, and to aid future gutting, if there were grub screws in there, that would be the best place to do it. Interesting set of pinning in here. I've got one damaged spring, but the remainder are a mixture of home cut spools and what looks like bathroom plug chain balls, which are definitely a bit tricky, but fun. It's a fun lock. It's not meant to be particularly difficult, I think, but it's a fun pick. So I think we stand a fairly good chance of putting this back together again in the way it was intended. Right, back soon. So, back from the workshop with Tricky, and Tricky is unbricked. There you go. The grubbing worked amazingly well, and there is plenty of material in there to hold the grubs in. They're nice and tight. Probably not, it's aluminium, so you can't really give it too much abuse, but actually that worked quite well. So it looks like it's had a lobotomy. So Tricky has truly had some surgery, but Tricky is back to working, and it works fine. I've picked it. It picks exactly the same way as it did before, so it's still quite a fun lock. But yeah, a little bit different. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll probably end up throwing this out to the community and letting people play with Tricky. The key doesn't work brilliantly. It never has. It does stick. So what I might do is improve on the key pinning just so it's a bit tighter, because of some of the driver pins sort of drop partially into the keyway, and you have to push the key up to get it to rotate freely. So I'll fix that, get it working smoothly, and we'll get it moving on. So anyway, there you go. Tricky surgery by Lockmania. Cheers, Lockmania, and cheers everyone else. Enjoy your picking. Cheers.